What is up, Game on Esters? It is your boy Kjay, and I'm here with the one and only Sapphire.
Hello.
And today we're going to be running through one of my personal favorite clips. This clip kind of shows the level that I play at, opposed to the level that she plays at. So with this one, I'm going to be breaking down and going through a couple scenarios within the match that I think are some key points. Just like the entire match in general. It's going to be kind of a Q&A slash like video review. So Sapphire's going to be asking me some questions. I'm going to be answering them the best that I can. And not to mention, when we're all finished, it's going to be like a little review slash recap of what happened. So without further ado, let's kick it. So far, is there anything that you'd like to ask?
At the moment, no. I do want to point out that if you hear little sneezes, we got our little baby here.
Yeah, she's definitely there. This is the first time we've actually gotten her to quiet down all day, but...
Oh, yeah, she was crying all day, but it's okay. It's a baby's job.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. All right, hopping into the game. The first thing before I get serious at all is I'm looking at the bus path. That is a big thing because any location underneath the bus path is considered a hot drop. And what I do is I look around and I figure out where I can go that's not going to be too close but not too far from it at the same time. So, at this point, I chose Salty Springs. That's where I'm going. That's where I am going to start this playthrough, basically.
Wait, so I know like a lot of people drop at hotspots, but like, what's the difference between dropping at a location farther away? What other differences are there besides dropping at a location farther away and then dropping at underneath the bus, besides a lot of people?
Well, the biggest thing is loot and actually time to get to the circle, because there's some people who like to rush to the circle, some people like taking their time, but me personally, I like to load up and then assess my situations before I even go into them. So this is pretty like normal for me. I love to give myself time and look around to where things are going. And as you guys can see, those two weapons are one of my weapons of choice. So those are the weapons that I will stick with no matter what the situation is. Unless I find an LMG, then I can run an LMG and an AR. That's going to be one of the easiest things that I can do. You know, it's a lot more simple when you factor in how things play and what's going on. And here, I read like a book. Textbook. I look at where the guy is coming from, my enemy, and then I kind of track it to where I think they're going to be. Super simple. This is one of the big things that I love to do, and when I learn to play the game, I learned that controlling the area is a really, really nice thing. And this is why I pop minis first, because it gives you 50. But also, some of you may be asking, "Oh, why pop minis when you can just pop a big pot?" Well, first of all, if you have minis, use them up first, and then your big pots will just add to them. So it's really simple when you factor in the amount of time you have in between like a fight. So if you go from a big pot to little minis, it's really, really easy to get lost in time and not realize that there might be somebody behind you and you're just standing there and get caught basically standing there. And this is where I'm kind of torn between two weapons, because my AR uses the same ammo as my LMG. However, I've learned that I can factor in both, because the LMG starts out with more ammo. And like you see here, I can just full on fire and not have to worry about reloading until a little later.
So if you have a weapon that has the same ammo, two weapons that use the same ammo, what would you prefer for a newbie? Would you prefer almost like one that fires back to back to back, or one that's a bit slower? Like, what one would be easier control for a newbie?
Easy to control. I'd definitely give it to the AR because if you see right now, it was a little harder for me to like keep a steady aim because the recoil on the LMG is just really high. But for all you guys who don't know what recoil is basically where I'm shooting and the gun is just firing everywhere. It's not firing in just one specific straight line. And uh, if you guys have noticed, when I reloaded, that took a very long time. And in a game situation, that is just like a no go. It really does not help when you have to reload like every so often. But with this is why I picked up the hunting rifle. It has a really good long range, and I can hit people from a distance with it. And as you see, this guy is not hitting his shots. He doesn't have a weapon that's like the same range as me. And as you see, I'm slowly getting closer as I'm shooting, because eventually I'm gonna get closer to the point where I can start using my other weapons. Like if I didn't kill him there, I probably would have switched to my LMG after a little bit and got super close. Um, it all just really depends on the kind of situation you're in, because the situation will decide what kind of game like style you're gonna play, and it really all just falls back on the type of player you are. Like if you're more like a strategist like me, then you'll kind of think of possibilities on the go. Or if you're more like a run and gun kind of guy, you'll just go in guns blazing.
What if you're more of a run and hide till the last minute kind of person?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but the thing is, you're gonna run into a fight eventually. And it's better to be ready for that fight than to be like running away from everything. So it's nice to know how to fight, and it's nice to know when to just get out of there. If you're in a 2-on-1 situation and you're getting shot at from two different ways, it's good to just run, because more than not, those guys are going to go after each other. So it's really simple. You're gonna eventually get caught in a 2-on-1. And with that being said, it's really kind of just, how do I put it? It's more so on the 2-on-1 side for run, because unless you're like a high kind of skill level player, kind of like the player that I am, by no means I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst at the same time. I will play and play and play this game and just try to get better. But in a 2-on-1 situation, even I know when it's time to just bail. So it really just depends on the situation when it comes down to running and hiding. And as you see, like this is a key point in this game. So when it comes down to it, that dude's just standing there and there's another guy right next to him. I'm just firing at will, and if I was smart, I would have relocated after this, because now there's one person in the back who knows where I am. And if this guy was a high skill level player, he would have known that he could have just rushed me. But he didn't. So that allowed me to take that opportunity and just go full out and kind of just eliminate two players at once. To be honest, if they were smart, they would have chose to fight each other before I even got there. But those guys did not decide to do that. So, with that being their play, I kind of based my play off of theirs. And that's the kind of player I am. I move when they move. And it's kind of easier for me to do so when the skill level that I'm at is a little bit higher, if that makes any sense.
So, like, okay. Let me figure out how I'm going to word this real quick. Words are not my friend. When you are, like, out in the open like this and you hear those shots, right, what is your first instinct? Because mine is to run the opposite way. And I think that's why I don't do very good in the final 5.
So that's actually a really good question. I'm glad that you asked that. So when you hear the gunshots, Like in this part right here, you can see where the shots are on the far left. And what I did was, if I can see where they're going, I'm gonna follow them. But if I hear more than one person shooting, then I am obviously gonna go in and fight, because that's a 2-on-1 situation where I can win. And there are gonna be 2-on-1s where you can't win. Um, you might go there and somebody might be bluffing, so you just fall out and kind of just get stuck. But there are times when I have to realize as well that I just can't be there. And it really all just depends. Because if I hear sniper shots, I'm going to get down. If I hear like AR or LMG shots, it's going to be, okay, I can either go in or I can leave. Then I hear shotgun shots or anything that's like a little slower. I go in and I kind of just fight my way through. Like in this situation, heard that there was two people here, and I just kind of decided, hey, I'm a fight. And then as I see that and I see the bullets flying by me, I like to reposition. And with this gun, since there's so many bullets in the magazine, I don't really have to worry about reloading until a little later.
So, okay. What would be your like one tip to someone like me who plays just once in a bit and doesn't like really know the game? Like you say AR and all those fun fancy terms. What do those mean, I guess, is what I'm gonna ask instead of my original question. What is AR and like how do you know the difference?
Okay, so well, actually it's really easy. The guns themselves, when you go to pick them up, they'll tell you what gun they are. But how you decipher them from the others is really simple. Just look at the ammo that they take. So every gun takes different ammo, except for the weapons that are in the same class. So like the LMG, the AR, those take the same kind of ammo. And then the hunting rifle, the sniper rifles, those all take the same weapons, or those weapons take the same ammo as well. Shotguns, all of them take the same ammo. It's really simple. Once you figure out what ammo a weapon takes, you can kind of decipher it from the rest. Also from the rate of fire. Like the burst rifles, those are assault rifles as well. It's really simple to tell them apart. When I'm playing and when I first started, I just literally looked at the ammo. So medium ammo is for like ARs, for the AR class. Shotgun shells, obviously shotgun, but the heavy ammo, those are for the heavy ammo is for like snipers and long range weapons. And then there's another type of ammo. It's like light ammo. That's for like pistols, SMGs, and all that's in that class there.
How do you know the difference? Like, how do you know what like light ammo versus heavy ammo looks like? Is it the number of bullets? Like, how would I be able to determine when you say that one's light ammo? How would I be able to determine that what you're talking about?
So it's really simple. There's different designs for the different kind of ammo. It'll also tell you when you get close, so you're really not gonna have to worry about looking for a specific type of ammo. It'll pop up and you'll see it when it comes down. When it shows and it locks up pops up on your screen, you'll be able to see it quite easily. And the last part of this video is one that I like to remember because it's a really really like, how do I put it? It's a really smart play by me. And like you see here, there's shots coming in front of me, and there's two different spots where they're shooting at. So I know that there's a fight, and I know that I'm far enough away to a point where I don't really have to worry about them getting, how do I put it? I don't really have to worry about them getting back at me, because those guys are busy duking it off and doing their own thing. But this one here, I wouldn't necessarily recommend trying to go for a shot that far. I just did it because they were in a fight and I really didn't have to want to worry about them later. So that's kind of why I was firing around and got that kill. To be honest, I don't think I should have got that kill because it was a really big distance between me and my enemy, but somehow I pulled it off. So it's quite nice.
Good shit. Good shit.
Oh yeah. And then um, the rarities as well. It's something that I should probably bring up.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's common, rare, epic, legendary, and mythic. So commons, those are the gray weapons you pick out. So at the bottom right, you'll see all the weapons that I have. So if I were to have a gray weapon, the background would be gray. But that's common. Those you find everywhere. Rare is, well, it's not so much rare, it's uncommon, and that is the green. Rare is the blue. Epic is the purple, legendary is gold, and mythic is like a aquamarine kind of blue. And the higher, well, the bigger the color, the easier, well, the more damage it does, and the better the weapon is. This one is really nice because I heard this guy coming in, and I acted as I was supposed to. I kind of crept down. I didn't run to give away my position, and he just came running right at me. And when he came running right at me is when I took the opportunity to actually go get him. And some of you guys might be asking, why did you not pick up the Chug Jug? Because it's a legendary. The reason why I did not pick that up is because it would kind of be a waste of space. It's not like the endless Chug Jug where you can literally just go and drink it and it has unlimited things and it heals you every second. That one takes 15 seconds to actually heal you, and it heals you completely. But since it does take 15 seconds, in a situation where you have a bunch of time, like early game, it would be it would be a pretty good option to use. But since it is not early game, it is getting later, I would personally not recommend it.
So the different. Okay, what are all like the Chug Jug versions? Like I know there's like a Slurp Juice, right?
So that's a good question as well, but those aren't Slurp Juices.
Okay.
Well, Chug Jugs, I mean. Chug Jugs are those big round pots. Slurp Juice is like this little pot, and it takes 2 seconds to deploy. However, it only takes 2 seconds, but at the same time, it heals you over time. So it's not like it's not like any of the other heal items, because it'll heal you after a couple, like maybe 15 seconds. But the thing about that is it heals you 75%. So it gives you 75 to either your health or your shield. And some of you may be wondering, what's that shield logo that has like the electricity on the right of your health? That is your overshield, meaning it regenerates over time. So, and this is a really good example of a nice fight because I stayed back and I waited, and then that allowed me to get this kill. And then this guy right here, he was a really big problem because he shot so many rockets at me, and I thought I was a goner because I kept shooting the rockets out of midair. Don't ask me how I did it, but I ended up doing it. And I was able to get out of the way because I knew if I stood there for too long, I was going to get hit. This is where mobility really comes in handy because you never know when you're going to get hit with something. And getting hit from something that powerful and somebody else with other weapons, they're going to take you down whether you like it or not if you get hit by that. So with this, I honestly thought I was a goner until I locked on to, well, didn't lock on, but I was able to go for his head. And some of you might also be wondering, hey, KJ, why didn't you take the, like the scar or anything else that was golden up there? Well, I'll tell you this. It's basically off of preference. So I prefer to have, like a weapon that fires really fast, not like a minigun, because a minigun, it does little damage, but up close, it's really good. I wanted something that was a little bit better, like a little bit of mid-range, a little bit of, like, a lot of short range. So, with that being said, I decided to choose the LMG over that. And not to mention the LMG was purple. The other stuff was gold and legendary, But I just chose to keep it to myself because that's like a how do I put it? It's more so just a preference. Yes, those are really good, but in my opinion, I just choose kind of whatever. I wanted to go back for maybe that sniper or so, but the benefit of not having a sniper is decent and having a hunting rifle, because with a hunting rifle there's no glare. With a sniper rifle there will be glare coming off of the scope, so you will be able to see where your opponent is no matter where they're hiding. um yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple, but it was kind of easy once you figured out how things were going.
What would you say is your top moment in this match?
In this match,
Yes.
I'd say, um if I had to pick out a top moment, it would actually be coming up here soon. Because a lot of people, when they see somebody sitting in the water, they're gonna jump down with them and then go to fight with them. Me, I stayed back and I played my part. There was somebody shooting at me. I didn't know where they were, but that's why I was sitting on the stairs, because I knew that they weren't gonna hit me. But then I realized where they were coming from, and once they started shooting at me, I was like, okay, I can kind of pinpoint where they are. And this is where I started to turn it up a little bit, because I seen where the guy was. Boom, I'm hitting him. He's not doing anything about it, and he's stuck in the water, so he can't move as well. And I take him out, and next thing you know, it kind of boils down to how I'm gonna play this. So now it's kind of a three-way battle, and it's a triple threat. And well, it's a double threat technically, because I'm the third person, but there's still two enemies out here, and they're still threats. At this moment, they are still a threat to me, because I don't know where they are and I don't know what's going on. But here is where things start getting a little better. So right here, I see this guy, and I try to hit him with my hunting rifle. It doesn't work. And there will be instances where an enemy is just moving too much for you to hit them with a long range weapon. And I didn't want to jump down, but this is where my smarts come in, because I decided to reload instead of going for it right away. Because Lord knows I might have ran out of bullets right there, but I didn't. Thank God. So I got up and I just kept on going. And then this is where things kind of got a little funny. This is why this is one of my favorite matches. That guy in the bush thought I didn't see him, and I did. And I was just going at him, and he has a sniper. So that's the glare I was talking about off the sniper rifle. And that's my dub there. I mean, is there any more questions from you?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, with that being said, if you guys like this kind of content, we are more than likely going to be posting some more.
What do you mean more than likely? Of course we will be.
True. I mean,
let us know what other games you want us to see.
Let us know what else you want us to do for specific games, like Q&As, like just gameplay in general, or if you guys even want us to kind of talk about how like the game is played between the both of us. We do play games together. If you guys want to see like us collab on a video, just let us know.
I'm probably going to be posting some Sims 4 and Minecraft content, but we know that.
And I'm more than likely going to be posting some more Fortnite, Call of Duty. So with that being said, later, Estes fam.
Like and subscribe.
Let's go.